I often get the question, what's wrong with my business? Why am I not making enough money? I'm not able to take home enough money. What am I doing wrong? Or can you take a look at my P&L and tell me if I'm spending too much money? What can I cut? And often what I see is the problem is really a size issue more than anything else. Now, there are absolutely times when the problem is pricing. I do see that quite a bit, that work is being underpriced. But reality is, for most companies, they just simply haven't grown the business. So if you're running one crew, let me give you an example. Let's just go with something simple like mowing. Let's say you're mowing and it's you and maybe a couple guys, and you're billing yourself out at 40 an hour. You're billing out your guys as well, but let's just focus on you for a moment. So you work 40 hours a week, or at least you get a bill 40 hours a week. You work 40 weeks a year, and let's say you're billing yourself out at 40 an hour. That's $64,000 per year. So your absolute top is $64,000 per year. And again, let me go back to you're just mowing on your own here, just you. So your absolute best case is $64,000 a year, but now you've got your truck and you've got equipment, you've got your mower, trailer, you've got all these different expenses. Then you add a couple people, and yes, you make a little bit more money, but reality is they cost you money too. You have to pay them labor, you have additional expenses. Let's say you get to keep 20% of the money that they earn you. And I'm totally made that number up, but let's just go with that. That's only about another $12,000 a year. So now your top end is about what, 12, 24, that would be 60, 80, about what, 88,000 a year, roughly. That's your top end. And you've got to then take expenses out of that. It just doesn't leave you with a lot of money. And so there's no real way that you can cut a lot of expense. If you go and cut your mowers, or you cut back the quality of your supplies and your equipment, your truck, or you don't reinvest so that you can make more money each year, well, eventually you end up where your quality is declining, it's taking you longer to get the work done because your equipment isn't very good. And so it simply costs money to run the company. And so my feeling is generally that you need to get to at least 3 crews before you really start to see a pretty decent income. And everybody has a different definition of what decent is. But the reality is you've got to build your business to several crews so that you're making enough money to have a decent lifestyle and cover all of your bills, and still have a little bit of money to grow slowly. Now, if you have 3 crews and you're growing really fast, same problem all over again. Now you're in a fast growth mode. You're spending money on marketing. You're spending money on maybe an office help, or an individual in the office. You clearly should be using some form of software, really even back with just 1 crew. But now you've got new expenses across the board, and it drains some of your gross income. And so if you're in a fast growth phase and you don't feel like you have a lot of money, generally your only solution is to sort of put your head down and build your way through it so that you have more and more crews that generate more revenue, and you have enough money to spread coming in across all the crews to spread across your non-billable expenses, such as your office help, maybe a salesperson at some point, and expenses of that sort, your office and such. And so if you are feeling that you're just not making enough money, look to 2 areas. 1, are you pricing correctly? And then 2, are you big enough? Just run the math. Figure out how many hours can I potentially sell this year, and what do I sell my time at? How much money is that? That's your top end. That's best case. The only way you can grow that top end is to add more people and sell more work. So don't beat yourself up. Rather, focus on going out and adding more crews so that you can bring in more gross revenue, so that you can spread that revenue across the expenses that you've got to incur as you grow the company. And what you'll find is growing your business will solve your problem. Cutting your way to profits or cutting your way to a bigger paycheck will never solve your problem.